The dog days of summer are here, but if the results don't start going another way, the fall will be anything but a sight to see. USL Championship action brought to you by Wheels sees Phoenix Rising come to South Florida to do battle with Miami FC. And hello everyone, with Ross Davenport, I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us tonight, where one must wonder, Ross, when does the bleeding stop for the home team?
Yeah, it's been a rough one. Miami certainly aren't where they want to be right now, and definitely aren't where people expected them to be, but amazingly, a win tonight could put them 3 points out of the playoffs, so still plenty to play for.
Yeah, it's so wild because you come into the season and many people projected Miami FC to be in the middle of the pack. Speaking of that, out west, Phoenix Rising, they're in that 6th slot as the time stands right now.
Yep, and won only one of their first 6 games this season, but come into tonight with only 3 losses in their last 11, unbeaten in 5. They look to continue their move up the table, perhaps towards a home quarterfinal.
It must feel like forever and a day, but we have some goals that need to be scored, and we have to go all the way back to the last couple of weeks because we just have not had a lot of offense. Miami FC, their offense has gone dry. You see it, they're winless in their last 8.
Yeah, made a coaching change that the offense has remained stale, no goals in the 2 matches since that switch. They'll need to take those chances tonight like Repetto and Murphy did here. Phoenix has scored 14 goals in their last 5 games. And put the chances away tonight, they've got to be clinical.
Manuel Arteaga, he is the guy that is the leader of the pack for Phoenix Rising. He is dynamic.
Yep, the well-traveled 29-year-old Venezuelan. He only had 15 goals in 53 games for Indy 11 over the last 2 seasons, but he's clearly found something here in the desert. 10 goals already to lead the league, including a goal in the last 5 games. He's also stepped up under pressure. 3 of those goals coming late on in games to gain points for the Rising.
Man, he does it all for Phoenix Rising. They've found their groove right now. They have not lost in a month. We'll see if the trend continues here tonight on the road for them. Coming up next, we'll get you Phoenix Rising and Miami FC. Desperate to snap this 8-game winless streak. We'll see if they can accomplish the feat on the other side.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is a 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami
FC.
This broadcast of Miami FC is presented by FPL. Learn how FPL is investing in Florida's future at FPL.com/value. Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com. And Wheels, the future of micro-mobility is here. And we are live here from FIU Stadium. Miami FC, Phoenix Rising coming to town. First off for the home team, Ross.
2 changes for interim manager Luis Neal. Ben Mines vacates at right back. In comes Curtis Thorne there, and then Joaquin Rivas gets his first start since April up top, Claudio Repetto. But the big news on the bench there, 30-year-old Frenchman Florian Velo back in the squad for the first time since mid-May.
Yeah, it wasn't expected to be back anytime soon because of a knee injury. He had surgery on it. And on the other side of things for Phoenix Rising, Juan Guerra, ooh, these guys are dangerous across the pitch.
Yeah, no changes for Mr. Guerra. And why would you? 6 goals in that last win on ESPN2 over at Memphis. 10 of their 12 shots were on goal in that one. Undefeated in 5 and 4 players on the team of the week.
Yeah, they absolutely trashed Memphis. But to a man, Juan Guerra did admit to us earlier in the week, he didn't feel like they were 6-0 better than Memphis. But when things just go your way, all of a sudden you start beating the brakes off of opponents. And as we mentioned at the top, they haven't lost in a month. So when you've watched them, Ross, what makes them so good?
Well, Arteaga obviously finishing those chances. Listen, anytime you can create 12 shots and 10 of them on goal, you're doing something right. The clinicality has really impressed me. They just come on as a team. Listen, Juan Guerra came in last year in a strange situation. Now this is more his team. Got off to a slow start this year, but now playing that Juan Guerra ball like he used to play with the Roots. Be in your face at times. Love to press when they need to. On the road tonight, though, the heat shouldn't bother them tonight, Dave. I know it's been 110 plus in Phoenix.
Yeah, you got to pack your SPF 90 if you're going out to Arizona, whether you're in Phoenix or Tempe or Scottsdale or wherever it may be. It is awfully hot. It's been like that here in Miami as well. Phoenix Rising on the attack. That header on goal, softly touched by Adrian Zendejas, his first look tonight. Zendejas getting the look in net for interim coach Louis Neal. Zendejas this season, 1-3-6 record, goals against at 1.5. Save percentage at .676. He's got a couple clean sheets to his resume. Coming all the way out was Rios Novo. Fortunate enough, that didn't land on the foot of Michael Salazar.
Perhaps an early yellow, just a warning. Certainly a little later in the game, that would have been a yellow from Salazar with the pullback, but you saw Rising there. It's back to the old days of Phoenix Rising. Dave just throwing bodies forward as soon as that ball gets anywhere near the final third.
Phoenix Rising this season, they've scored 28 goals. That's the good. The bad, well, they've yielded 21, so the goal differential is not where they want it to be just yet at +7, but you had mentioned at the top of the show, Arteaga, he fills it up. 10 goals so far this season. He leads all strikers with Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, the 3-back system can be exploited at times when you get turned over and the teams go the other way. See if Miami can take advantage of it tonight.
Miami FC coming off a defeat in Colorado Springs. They got outclassed 2-0. That game really surprised Louis Neal. Not because of the end result, but because of the way they started the second half. It was scoreless at the end of the first. Through 45 minutes of play, this man right here, Michael Salazar, had the best opportunity on a partial breakaway. He got stopped. The opening of the second half resulted in a goal, and all of a sudden, Shane Beckworth put everyone else on edge. And Beckford's goal, the game-winning goal, was the difference maker in a 2-0 outcome. Here's Curtis Thorne on the cross, way too strong on service for Kyle Murphy. Murphy looking right back at him saying, where was that going?
Yeah, Thorne set out last weekend with an injury. Right fullback who loves to get forward. That's the way to exploit that 3-back system, get those fullbacks a little more involved. Salazar, as you mentioned, Dave, was very impressive last weekend. You should see him a little more centrally, but he played on the different wings in each half in that loss to Colorado Springs. Had that golden chance you mentioned midway through the first half. If that gone in, that game could have finished completely differently.
Yeah, we asked Louis Neal about that attempt earlier this week, and Neal said, you'll have to ask Salazar what he was thinking, because from his standpoint, Neal's, and also ours, we thought he was trying to elevate it over the keeper,
yeah,
but he didn't do anything in terms of getting it over or getting it around. It was just almost into the crest. All that being said, that was for a different day. This cross through, broken up at the last second by Paco Craig. Miami FC trying to counter now.
Yeah, it was a good first touch by Salazar. The ball kind of bounced up at an awkward angle, and he at that height where you can't really smash it. He just tried to lob the keeper, didn't work in the end. He was impressive. Sticking with him on that right wing tonight. He popped up on the left wing last week. Sordo switching over. Sordo got a little caught out on both the goals, just caught a little narrow. See if he manages to stay wide tonight.
Rivas amongst the starters tonight with Murphy. up front. And then you got Thorne, Salazar, Dewuna, Stanley, Paco, Craig. Hernandez, of course, across the back. Mark Segber is getting another start. Segber's making his 13th start in now 18 matches. This one played firmly through, looking for Murphy. That was intercepted at the last moment. When Mayer, a nice play marking Murphy. Man from Venezuela making his 15th start now in 16 matches.
Phoenix don't play that traditional three at the back. They'll list four, but Darnell King so far off that pitch. Eddie Manjoma as well. They're both almost natural wing backs at the fullback position. Here comes Manjoma now on the run, overlapping. One of them will always be pushing forward.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising had a trying time last year doing anything, and the local fans in Arizona, they were hot for all kinds of different reasons, but the end result was what they were looking for. Trejo shot, firm grasp from Zendejas. Trejo trying to bend that wind in on the far side, and Zendejas with a fine stop.
Some openings early on here, Dave, in these first 5 minutes for both sides. It's a couple of open shots on Zendejas, which Luis Neal won't be too happy about. That one is not quite closed down quick enough by either Neal or Salazar, excuse me, by Thorne or Salazar.
Almost reminiscent of Beckford's goal last week.
Was given a little too much space to run and run. There's a chance now for Murphy. Puts that into the stands.
Take a look now at our injury report, brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at vwflorida.com today. One man out, Bolu Akinyoti. Broken nose a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that one hurt. You and I did that game, Dave. That was a nasty one, but you mentioned the big one on the bench tonight, Florian Velo. Will we get to see him this evening? Is he healthy enough to give him a half hour, 15 minutes? We'll see.
I mean, what's your take when you get a player that's out for 3, 4, 5 weeks? Do you want to ease them in? Or if you're Luis Neal, you see where you're at in the standings, you see your record, would you be more inclined to throw him out there and get him just into the fire right away?
A man with the impact that Velo can have, I'm sure Luis Neal wants to put him in there, but obviously he's also had the injury history with the knee problems.
Yeah.
Back in his days with the Red Bulls. I think you can take it on an individual basis, Dave. I think with Velo at his age at 30, I think you ease him back in. If he's perhaps a little younger, a different injury, you could throw a guy back in there. It's a spell of 7 away games out of 10 for Miami. They're back home tonight, but then another chunk. They've had a couple of games out west, a lot of tired bodies out there, even though they've had the week break now. They've been out to RGV, Monterey Bay, Colorado Springs, been a lot of travel. And then 3 of the next 4 after this, also on the road, including one against San Antonio. So I think, as we mentioned in the pregame, Dave, they're only 3 points out of the playoffs if they win tonight, if they can get some help. So no time to panic, I don't think. Maybe here's a time to panic.
Not yet, indeed. This one across. Arteaga was the intended target. I guess the alarming part with what you just said was trying to say 30 years of age is old.
Well, with his combine that with his history of knee problems.
Oh,
He's had
okay.
a couple of ACL tears. Yeah, his knees are certainly a little older than 30, we'll say.
I was going to get a little triggered by that, Ross. I'm on the opposite end of that stuff.
You're not alone.
This one played through weakly again, but the top of the box, slight hesitation. That strike going over the net. Great bid, though, from just inside the 18, as Harvey got a pretty decent look, probably the best one of the night for either side.
Yeah, Harvey's been very influential this year from that defensive midfield spot, but they're more of a 4-3-3 when they are in possession. And as you mentioned, they'll throw bodies forward. See 7, 8 guys within 20 yards of the goal, and it's causing some confusion in that Miami back line so far. They're going to have to tighten things up. That's 3 semi-open chances in the first 8.5 minutes.
Harvey from Panama City, Panama. Making his 16th start of the year in 16 matches for him. Phoenix Rising coming into this contest. A couple games over 500 at 6-4-7. They're good for 25 points. They've been solid at home, getting results in 7 of 8 matches. And then on the road, it's exactly what you want, at least 500 ball. They're 3-3-3 away from the desert.
Yeah, it matches their win total from all of last season. Listen, these Phoenix Rising fans are used to winning, Dave.
Yeah.
Things are starting to come together now after a couple of rough campaigns.
Again, a nice bid by Darnell King. And you mentioned it just a few moments ago. King is like that Swiss Army knife. You can play him in the back, you can play him in the middle of the pitch, but he goes all over the place.
He does. He's not young either, Dave, but he still still gets up and down that right wing, does Darnell King, the former FAU man. Now a corner here for Phoenix as they push some bodies forward. Not the tallest team in the world.
You mentioned he did so much in Boca Raton with FAU. Led them in scoring as a sophomore, a junior, and a senior.
He was naturally a striker there with the Owls, and now converted to the wing-back / fullback spot with Phoenix. He's been around. Certainly someone Juan Guerra can rely on. And Joma, as you see the other fullback here hanging out, 25 yards out, looking to clean up. Some words in the box.
Juan Guerra feeling awfully good about coming back here to South Florida. Armanakis softly delivered that one through. That was almost an own goal.
Shoving the back on the way.
You do what you can until you get caught.
Be ready, heat up!
See now, Phoenix looking to put a bit of a press on. That's with a front five.
Yeah, they beat up on Memphis 901 on July the 1st. Game on ESPN2, 6-0 was the score. They'll get Colorado Springs in a couple weeks from now. So it's pivotal for them not to think about Miami FC as being a potential trap just because of the record, because then they get a week off to rest. So if you are Juan Guerra, you want to make sure that they go full throttle for the entire 90 minutes.
Confidence has to be high after that 6-0 win on national television.
Sure.
I don't think anybody saw that one coming. Memphis, like Phoenix, got off to a slow start this season, but it really turned it on over the last dozen games, but just got completely obliterated. Rising looking to score one early here, putting this pressure on the first 11.5 minutes.
Harvey. Nice move by Harvey again. Arteaga at the top of the box, asking or looking for service. This one nicely played away. This one by Moises Hernandez, and that's a delicate position for Hernandez to be in on that bid.
Yeah, good ball into the danger area. Lewis Neal looking concerned, as he should be. They start his team under some serious pressure in the first 12 minutes. Gallardo, that was a dangerous ball, and it was a good header in the end. That one could have got anywhere, though.
13th minute already. Phoenix applying a great deal of pressure early on. This is reminiscent of the last couple weeks for Miami FC. They held serve against Monterey Bay FC for the first 45. Same thing against Colorado Springs, but the end result were poor results with losses. Joma gave it up. Gallardo, and this one is looking for Arteaga again, but a little bit too hot on service there. There's Mark Segbers. Christian Sorto, he's looking to get off the schneid a little bit. There was a burst from Miami FC in the early portion of the season where they were getting results, wins and losses. This one played long. Looking on the left footed, that one stopped the last second. Rios Novo, fine bid there from Rivas. Point blank bid. And Rios Novo challenged early on.
It's a good strike from Rivas. It was a lovely ball as well. This is how it went last week a little bit for Miami. They had a handful of chances. Once again here, failed to put it away. Curtis Thorne with a delightful curling ball. Good save in the end from Rios Novo. Comfortable height though. The bounce in the end. It had help behind him as well. Murphy was lurking.
It's a difficult shot for Rivas to even take with that left. with the angle that he was on. Oh, played through Murphy, a partial break. Murphy goes top shot. He won't miss from there. Kyle Murphy on the board in the 15th minute. That goal brought to you by Wheels gives Miami FC an early advantage over Phoenix, 1-0.
Talked about the rising press here. It was Murphy putting a little solo press on it, forced the mistake by Crutzen. A man with Murphy's experience and ability isn't going to miss from there very often. Yeah, just the whiff from Crutzen, and Murphy had the help behind him, but he didn't need it. That's a lovely composed finish.
5th goal of the season for Kyle Murphy. And exactly what Miami FC needs. An early advantage. But they gotta look for a lot more. Just because you know Phoenix Rising is gonna come with several flurries. They haven't showed that through the first 15 minutes of this action. But a counter, a mistake for Phoenix Rising, and Kyle Murphy does do what skilled players should do, and that means making the opposition pay when there's a gaff.
Right, and then you'd expect any professional striker to finish that chance, but with the way Miami have been struggling to put the ball in the back of the net of late, anything's expected, and that was certainly a lovely finish. And the Miami FC fans are the braving the humidity and potential weather out here rewarded.
Manjoma, Trejo to the left. Trejo will peel this one back for Harvey. So now what does Phoenix Rising do to try to find the equalizer? And more importantly for Miami FC, now we'll find out what they intend to do for the next 75 minutes of this contest.
It's going to be a long 75, David, the way Phoenix have come out here. I don't think they're too concerned about that goal. It was a mistake that led to it. They didn't really get beaten. And they've certainly looked dangerous enough in the first 15+ minutes to have me thinking this game will not finish 1-0.
Zendejas coming out of his net, misses on that one, a vacated net, and all of a sudden, shot goes wide to the right. Gallardo with an open look, and more often than not, someone's gonna bury that. Number 7 does not there.
Delightful ball by Zambrano. Gallardo, Zendejas was caught in no man's land, and he really should finish from there. That was a good couple of feet wide of the right-hand post. Zendejas get away with that one.
I mean, it almost looked like self-preservation from Zendejas. He was looking to play it with his feet instead of with his hands.
Yeah, he got caught right on the edge of the box. Didn't want to receive that early yellow card, and you're right, Dave, because it was a little tentative. Caught in two minds.
This one again, Arteaga was a mile offside, and Zendejas didn't like it, but it's all good. I mean, it was almost like the soccer gods heard you when you said that you expect more than one goal scored tonight because of that miss, and Zendejas coming out with an empty net.
It's been wide open. There's been tons of space. Phoenix have had a couple of, in those first 8 or so minutes, had 3 decent half chances. That was another one there.
Well, Phoenix Rising are winless in the last 20 matches when conceding the first goal. So we'll see if the trend continues here tonight. At the bare minimum, you're hoping to get 1 now if you're Miami FC, but you need to have 3.
With the way things are here, yes. Phoenix, we mentioned they've rescued some points over this 5-game unbeaten stretch. They've been down late. 2 of those Arteaga goals came in the last couple of minutes, if not stoppage time.
Yeah.
So they have found themselves down. I mean, giving up goals. They've also been scoring. It's been an entertaining one for the neutral so far, for sure.
No doubt about it. 0 shortage of chances and a couple of mistakes on each end.
8 total shots already. We're not even at the 20-minute mark.
Rivas, delicate angle for him to send that through. He was looking for Murphy. It was intercepted. Mentioned Crutzen getting victimized on that Murphy goal. Juan Gary's got a comfortable and confident group. He doesn't feel like they're too far off from the top teams in the Western Conference, but he has admitted that the expectations, like you said earlier, for Phoenix Rising are to be there as perennial winners, not rebuilders year in and year out.
You can say what you want about the situation of how they got Juan Guerra, but they went out and got who they wanted.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't the prettiest of situations, but as time goes by, you know, people forget about that and forget about Phoenix's previous troubles off the pitch. I want to get back to those days of glory when they were putting goals away for fun.
Out wide. Manjoma. Stuttering a little bit to Harvey.
Nice little pickup, Eddie Manjoma, for Phoenix. He was on the verge of making that FC Dallas as a full-time squad member in the MLS, but didn't work out for him there. That's a great pickup for this squad. Watching him play some for North Texas in League One a couple of years ago.
Christian Sordo. Segbers. Oh, Segbers or Murphy almost found that. Duuna here. Oh, we wanted it back. Rivas played it the opposite way to Sordo. That's a missed opportunity for Miami FC.
Yeah, Rising all over the place at the back there for a half second. Organizationally, Miami couldn't take advantage.
But Miami FC back nicely. Good transition. Arteaga. Well, watch out there. That was a sensitive moment as Trejo almost had a step. You mentioned Juan Guerra coming to Phoenix Rising. That's what they'd say in TV, a pretty good tease for our USL Championship notes coming up at the half. Got some interesting movement around USL. Ross and myself will have all that, also highlights, some stats. We'll take a look at upcoming schedules and a look around the league as well. All that at the break. Still plenty of time in this one. Nice play by Paco Craig.
Yeah, the leader of this Miami backline. The defenders and Teal got back in numbers quickly there. Something you have to do now is a worrying moment.
Yeah, giveaway here. Harvey, other side, and that shot missing wides. And Dejas talking to the far side official. Asking for offside, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, good turnover by Harvey. Picked the pocket. He had some option to his right. He could have gone himself as well. Half shove in the back there on Gallardo. He wasn't complaining much, though.
This portion of the broadcast, sponsored by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com today. With Ross Davenport, I'm David Gascon, hanging out with you on a Saturday night in Miami. Salazar working. Rivas elected not to take the shot there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take a whack. Eddie Manjoma got caught up the pitch, leaving Salazar in tons of space. Juan Guerra watched that game last week. Salazar and Sordo with the real two danger men.
Wow, Rivas, that shot was nullified, but it would not have counted anyway. The near side official with the flag up.
Yeah, Joaquin Rivas mentioned his first start in quite a while. Been dealing with injuries over the last couple months. Found himself in a couple of good spots so far tonight, though. Reading the play well. You haven't seen much game action in a while. You've got to get used to finding those soft spots, knowing where to be at the right time. A slight stoppage here.
Still look good in the highlight category for Rios Novo with the save. I don't know what Rios Novo is doing. I don't know if he wants to give that ball to a spectator.
Was referee calling them off, or I thought he was calling them off for a second. I thought, well.
Everybody's confused, including us. We'll admit it. Sometimes these things happen.
It seemed like everybody was heading towards the sideline. I was expecting the dreaded. I'm not even going to mention it.
Temperatures right now at 86 degrees. There are scattered clouds and thoughts of something worse. Manjomo, Trejo shoots the long way, and he just misses that corner.
This game could be 2-2 already, Dave.
Unbelievable.
Quality. That was one of the best chances. Trejo, you see what he was trying to do. Just curl it inside that far post. Delightful play again by Manjoma here. In to the left side of the box, split the double team. He got a little lucky with the pass. Deas may have got a touch on that. He got away with it, though. Might have clipped his leg.
So we have the unofficial Ross Davenport goal count at 4. Wonder if it ends at 10. We'll find out, though.
It's been a fun game. There's no doubt about that. Tons of open space once again here.
And the question is, who does that favor? I'd lean more to Phoenix, but Miami has the advantage right now. We mentioned the weather at 86 degrees. The humidity is sharp at 66%.
That's one thing the Phoenix Rising players won't be used to.
Right. Dry heat of Phoenix, the humidity of South Florida.
Yeah, they got a little lucky down in Miami today. Some severe weather rolled through a little north.
Yeah, it was raining in Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, those areas. We've been a little bit higher than that. In fact, it's been up and down for the past 5-6 days. And over the next handful of days, there's expected to be a ton of thunderstorms.
Yeah, you just never know where they're going to pop up. Juan Guerra having a word with our 4th official. Not afraid to state his mind, Juan Guerra. I remember I did an Oakland game last season. He was, I think it was early in the year, and he was very heavily complaining about the amount of travel his team had to do. I remember they went to play, I think it was Greenville Triumph on the road in the Cup, and then had to do a ton of other traveling as well. And he said that somebody's got it out for us.
Hey, if you're still playing, that's never a bad sign, though. And his goal is to be playing deep in the postseason, a team that did not seek postseason action last year. Salazar with a push, just could not reel it in. Intercepted the last second by Zambrano.
If I remember correctly, Oakland had a couple of big upsets in the postseason under Guerra. Of the teams they were expected to lose to.
Yeah, think about San Diego getting beat last year. Oh, certainly a surprise. The regulars that were a part of it, though, San Antonio, Lou City, of course, the combatants all the way into the final dance. You feel like it could be anybody out west. You flip a coin, and there's a handful of teams. I mean, you can even go 1 through 8 in the West that you think can make a mark.
I mean, half the Western Conference has 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah. Harvey splitting. Harvey again with some real estate. Segber's nice intercept. Does this result in a booking?
Yep.
It's exactly the case through the 28th minute. Harvey knew it.
He made a nice little incisive run there and then just lost possession. He's not the quickest player in the world and got a little frustrated. Yeah, that's a little clumsy. He got the ball, but I think he came through the back of Segber's to get it.
So Harvey, the first booking of the night for Phoenix Rising, occurs in the 28th minute. But strong so far for Phoenix Rising. He's got 4 goals and a helper so far this year. That's now his 6th yellow card of the season. He's logged over 1,300 minutes for the club.
He's a big physical specimen at that defensive midfield spot, but he will get forward. That's the thing about this Phoenix Rising team. You never know who's going to be pushing into that final third.
Hernandez.
They've sat back a little bit here over the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Watch out.
Waiting to pick their spots a little more.
When Mayer with the foul.
You see Miami not in any hurry to get things going.
Miami FC getting a goal from Kyle Murphy. Murphy's 5th goal of the season in the 15th minute. That's now the 7th goal this season for Miami FC in the first 15. Second best in USL Championship behind San Antonio. It's the issue that Miami has had this year in terms of building on the lead. They have conceded 11 points from a winning position. Stanley. Looking, Paco Craig could not get it over to Salazar. Christian Soto is also there. Craig all the way up, will have to hustle back. And Rios Novo trying to expose that in the transition game here. Tiaga, Hernandez in front of that one. Armanakis' left foot, the expression on his body says all that you wanted from that striker. He'd love to get that one back.
Well, he did the hard work with the body to shrug off the challenge and then just scuffed his shot poorly. He's not going to look at it again. Shrugged off the challenge of Dewona.
And it looks like we have a hydration break coming out on a counter to score and eventually win the game.
Yeah, Miami have deserved, I think, a little more out of those last two road losses. They haven't played terribly. They haven't finished well. It's just one part of the game. But as you mentioned, Lewis Neal hasn't been disappointed with his team's performances. They don't look like a team where they are in the table. Obviously, with a management change as well, it's never easy. Obviously, Lewis Neal now fighting for his job. Can he turn that interim tag into a permanent one? It's always a little more pressure. It's a chance, right? It's a chance he might not have got elsewhere.
Good effort here from Salazar. No numbers, though. Transition game for Phoenix is good. We have 3 up front for Miami FC, but they'll maintain some possession right now. Shots are 7-3 in favor of Phoenix, but Miami FC has the lone marker in that one. Stanley trying to work it around Segber's extra effort. Potential another gear. Segbers has Salazar wide open. Segbers trying to play it through, but a miss hit there. Miami FC holding ground. Rivas, Stanley, see if he opens up. Rivas turns, springs it loose for Murphy. Murphy on his wallet. King just try to get it out of harm's way. Punched around, toe tapped. Back comes Trejo and company. There was certainly a moment, do or die situation here. Gallardo against Murphy. Trejo trying to open up. Arteaga. Phoenix trying to catch Miami napping a little bit. Miami FC did recover nicely.
What a goal that would have been by Segbers down the other end today. Lovely bit of dribbling. Perhaps could have taken a shot himself. Decided to try and lay it off instead.
'35th minute here from FIU Stadium. Some good counter action from both these clubs. You see the records. Miami FC, just 2 wins this season, 8 defeats and 7 draws. It has caused them to replace Anthony Pulis.
See Juan Garrett getting a little frustrated.
He's an emotional man.
You can always tell how he's feeling on that sideline. It's funny watching different managers and how they react. Lewis Neal, a very calm figure even after the goal.
Right.
Just a little polite golf clap.
Which poses the question, who would you rather play poker against, right?
Definitely Juan Garrett.
Trejo, Harvey behind him. That strike from the left foot goes sailing over the net. Not a real harm from out there, and Zendejas and Thorne trying to get on the same page. Armanakis with the attempt.
There's a lot of things in this world happening right now, and consumers like myself want some level of control.
I am a solar development project manager, and I get to be on the forefront of the best technology to produce clean energy.
We've transitioned from foreign oil to natural gas, and we're moving responsibly towards solar, battery, and green hydrogen, and this will all ultimately bring savings to the customer.
I know that FPL is looking at other ways that down the line will reduce my bill. We can be less dependent on oil, and the future's bright.
37th minute. Kyle Murphy, 5th goal of the season. Moises Hernandez got the helper on it. His first point of the year. Never a bad time to get your first goal or assist. Hernandez will take it. Rivas.
Rivas was lurking. Luckily, Crutzen got enough on the header.
Here's Harvey. Harvey with the yellow card in the 28th minute. Only booking in the match so far. From their lead official, Austin Saney. King. King wanted it back. Segber's cut off. Armanakis to Harvey. King. Not a lot of real estate to work with for Phoenix. So they've been playing out wide and certainly trying to work different sides of the pitch. Not the best delivery. Oh, it was a miss hit by Aiden Stanley. He knew it too. Just a little bit off guard, and that ball coming skying high, and then he just got handcuffed a little bit.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Manjoma just sort of lofted it in towards Darnell King, and King, the wily veteran, just did enough to make sure it went out for a corner off Stanley, who was, yeah, just the wrong side perhaps of King.
Let's see what Gallardo does here. Armanakis is close to him. Gallardo bends it away, that header, and Harvey climbed the ladder. It didn't have a lot of velocity on it, but it's a great deal of athleticism. You mentioned his size, he used it there.
Yeah, he was just drifting away from goal a little bit. It was going to be always tough to get enough power on that header to trouble Zendejas.
Phoenix nearly at 10 shots now in this contest. Still to the only 3 for Miami FC, but the 1 of 3 shots found the net. Hernandez lost the handle on Armanakis. Stuttering, he's got some numbers. Armanakis, that one nearly found its way to Trejo. Paco Craig with a fine heads-up play. That one Thorne to Zendejas. That is not according to plan.
Brave stuff from Thorne. But yeah, you mentioned Paco Craig stepping up again there. Big interception on that cross after the mistake from Moises Hernandez.
I want to read into the analytics. Phoenix nearing 1 expected goal. Miami FC still not there yet. I got a member down for Miami FC at Salazar. Took some contact to the back of the head.
Led the team with 4 shots last week in the loss to Colorado Springs. Miami outshot them 11-5 in the second half. Salazar heavily involved in most of those chances. He only ended up with 11 touches in the opponent's box, though. Already have 10 tonight. It's encouraging. Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, just a bit of an elbow from Manjoma. It's just sort of lent on the back of the head of Salazar.
Neal looking on. Took over as the interim coach a couple weeks ago. And one thing he told his troops after the news of the departure from Anthony Pulis is take a moment and then get back to work, because you can't feel sorry for yourself and you can't worry about what happened then. It's what's in front of you. Still plenty of time to work too for Miami FC. As you mentioned at the top of the show, a win here tonight puts them within a couple points of a playoff spot. But you got to make sure that you're capturing 3 points in these matches, not just the 1.
Yeah, teams above Miami really haven't been picking up wins as of late.
Stanley looked like he might have gotten tripped up, and that is exactly the case with Darnell King, and that's another booking. King not happy with the result. King looking like
he'd seen a ghost.
Yeah.
A yellow card-shaped ghost.
I thought from our angle that Stanley might have tripped over the ball.
Let's take another look at it here. King certainly coming from behind. That's exactly what happened.
Your attention, please.
My, oh my.
A yellow card has been issued to Phoenix Rising FC's number 2, Darnell King, in the 41st minute.
Yeah, not much to say about that one, Dave. I'm going to be kind, as my mum said. If you did nothing good to say, don't say anything at all.
But you're a broadcaster. You're supposed to say those things, right? It's a badge of glory for the officials to get criticism. All good, though. Miami see if they capitalize on it. Christian Sorto to the left of Aiden Stanley. And Sorto is deadly on service from these locations, but it will be Stanley trying to work long for Paco Craig. That ball, a little bit of traffic in the box. Miami FC asking for a handball to no avail.
Yeah, both officials were a long way from it. They may not have had a good look. I'm sure we'll get a look at it when we get a chance to see the replay. Perhaps now.
Zambrano, not his best look when he was near net for Rios Novo, but nevertheless, Zambrano and a handful of players for Phoenix Rising in a delicate moment. Ooh, possible turnover. Kyle Murphy could not get to Rivas. Wow.
A toenail on the end of that one. And Rivas would have been through one-on-one.
And that's reminiscent of Salazar last week.
It's just been a little sloppy at the back from Phoenix. He looked a little disorganized. The shape has been questionable. Miami's taken advantage once, almost again there.
If you didn't have the luxury of a score bug on your screen, you might think that this score is something in the 3-3 range. The amount of action we've had here today so far through 40 minutes plus. But only one goal, Duuna. Nicely played over to Salazar. Salazar's got a couple guys. Rivas is one of them. That one a little bit too tall for Kyle Murphy.
Yeah, the better play might have been to pull it back to Curtis Thorne. The fullback making his way into the box. Now a chance here for Rising to break.
Thorne misses it. Trejo again. Trejo by two defenders. And calmly he puts it in. It's 1-1. That's pure class there from Trejo to get this game level. And all of a sudden, Juan Guerra, a conversation on the far side.
Something going on away from the ball. Darnell King's got to be careful. Ooh, Harvey with a shove. He's already got a yellow card.
Arteaga's down on the deck.
This one came out of nowhere. It was a fine goal. Arteaga's down, as you mentioned, Dave. You could see Juan Guerra's reaction. Trying to figure this one out. It's a shame because it was such a beautiful goal. The pass and the finish. The pass was an exquisite one into the path of Trejo, and he finished when he didn't finish earlier. Trejo's still going at Sordo now.
Well, Rios Novo all the way out of his net. And he's traveled a long way to chirp about what?
It's like the old goalie in hockey. He's going to try and get involved.
Arteaga holding his mouth.
Let's see. Here we go. The rugby tackle, and then, ooh, that was nasty. Hernandez, not sure what he was thinking there. That's what Phoenix was so upset about. It wasn't the initial tackle from Stanley so much as the second bit of contact from Hernandez. I'm wondering if we're going to, if either one team or both teams are going to end up, I think, with 10 men here. David, we'll see what a ball that was.
Your attention, please.
By Armanakis.
There will be 4 minutes of added stoppage time.
The assistant referee was right there. He had a good view of it. We'll see. Chatting now, just off camera.
I don't think that Aiden Stanley really made any kind of hurtful contact with Arteaga.
It was a little silly. Perhaps deserved of a yellow card. He was just trying to get the ball. But then Hernandez came in at full tilt. And the third man in, I'd be surprised if Hernandez stays on the field after this one.
What a goal again.
The weight of that pass was just perfect. Thorn was beaten, as was Zendejas. Somebody's got, oh. There was a couple of yellows issued. Certainly one to Aiden Stanley. If we go to the break here, 11 on 11, I think both teams have to be considering themselves very, very lucky. Nobody seems to be leaving.
Well, Zambrano got the assist on the goal scored by Trejo, and for Trejo, it's the 7th goal of the season.
Please, yellow cards issued. Phoenix Rising's number 9, Manuel Teaga. Yellow card to Miami FC's number 99, Christian Soto. And yellow card to Miami FC's number 3, Aiden Stanley.
So Sorto and Aiden Stanley with the yellow cards for Miami FC. Arteaga with a yellow card for Phoenix Rising. I think Miami FC will take that every single time.
I mean, yeah, Stanley, I think the yellow was right there. Sordo and Arteaga just for the shenanigans, but how Hernandez has not ended up in the book, I don't understand.
Well, almost reminiscent of Kyle Murphy's goal, a pass from Zambrano that got through 2 defenders for Miami FC. And Trejo made them pay. Well, this thing has been anything but dull, I can tell you that.
No, it's been fun. We'll certainly have more than these 4 minutes now. At least 2 or 3 added on to that after the conversations.
Well, Miami FC, they have now conceded 8 goals in the final 15 minutes of the opening half. That's 2nd worst in USL Championship, behind Las Vegas, who have had their problems stopping a runny nose. Armanakis. Gallardo. See how Phoenix plays the stoppage time with Trejo looking for another one. He's had numerous chances in this first half. He scored 1, but he's had 2 other looks towards target. Arteaga shoots. Great stop by Zendejas in that one. Arteaga didn't get his best effort on it, but it was pretty darn close, and Zendejas fortunate enough to get 2 paws on it.
Beautiful first touch by Arteaga, just hanging out in that soft spot in that Miami defense. He got enough on it. Certainly troubles Zendejas. Here's a look at it again. Just hooked it. Didn't really see where the goal was. Just hooked it towards that far post, and Zendejas did well to get down and pour it away, as you mentioned.
The most important part with that save, too, is how he was able to read it off the turf. I think hopping from Arteaga, and it's a dangerous spot for Zendejas to be in. Rivas looking for Murphy, not this time. Doing on the intercept, nicely done. Sorto. So we're supposed to only have 4 minutes of stoppage time, but 3 yellow cards. This one played through. Rios Novo gets to it in time, but it looks like we'll have an additional 4 added on. So, in fact, we'll have 8 total minutes of stoppage time here in this first half.
I'll take more of this, Dave. Always.
Nothing wrong with that. I think the only thing we're missing is a couple body shots with the boxing affair that we've had here tonight. A lot of chirping, a lot of physicality, and plenty of fireworks. A little festive affair on a Saturday night for 2 teams that aren't really familiar with each other. It's just a second ever endeavor between these 2 squads. Salazar with the intercept. But it has been an interesting match. There's moments that Phoenix clearly has the right idea and things are tilted in their side, and then all of a sudden Miami will counter, and then they start exposing Phoenix. There's certainly spots for Phoenix Rising that are left vulnerable on their back line.
Yeah, you get some of these games where they cancel each other out, but this isn't the case here, David. It's been 2 teams that They match up each other well, but they match up each other well for fun football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Got a corner kick here. Brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Let's see who takes this. I would imagine it's Aiden Stanley. It will be. Miami FC, they've had their opportunities. They've scored 15 goals now this season inside the 18. They have been one of the stronger clubs in USL Championship on set pieces as well. Stanley working short. Gets this one back, looping in. They get contact near the 6. Paco Craig, he might be the guilty party. Interesting enough, thought we'd get 8 total minutes of stoppage time. Nowhere near that, but nevertheless, Austin City says, fellas, depart for a little while. So we've reached halftime here from FIU Stadium. All in all, Miami FC got a goal from Kyle Murphy, his 5th of the season. Phoenix Rising did find a way to counter, though. That goal coming from Danny Trejo in the 44th minute. Ross, it's 1-1 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, we wish we could have got some more goals out of it, but certainly plenty of entertainment. Darnell King still complaining about the same thing that I complained about. I think that Hernandez didn't end up in the book. I'm sure perhaps we'll get a look at that at halftime. But yeah, tons of entertainment.
Well, we can
plenty to play for here.
I was going to say, we can only hope for the second half to be just as good. When we come back, we'll get you some first half stats and some highlights. Miami FC and Phoenix Rising right now tied at 1 apiece.
Fans, a friendly reminder that fans are prohibited from entering the field.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
End of the first half here. Miami FC, Phoenix Rising, all locked up at 1 apiece. Time now, new Miami FC Macron Athleisure line. Take it away, guys.
Give me the shades, boy.
Sleek gear right there. Miami FC trying to wear one of their own with Phoenix Rising coming to town. 1-1 is the score. When we come back, we'll take a look at some first half highlights and some stats, all that and more on the other side.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Slide this in behind. Now it comes for Valesky. Tries to leave it there for Gleedle. Sam Gleedle. It's a tap in for Christian Valesky. And Monterey Bay are absolutely flying tonight. Bomasoso. Right through the middle. Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez scores! Something out of nothing for the Oakland Roots.
Back right now, FIU Stadium with Ross Davenport. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us on a lovely Saturday night, wherever you may be. It's the FPL Halftime Report presented by Macron. Learn more about FPL and how they're investing in Florida's future at FPL.com/value. Ross, take a look now at some news and notes around USL Championship. You mentioned it earlier with Juan Guerra. Some changes here with Tampa Bay as well.
This is a big deal. We talk about the transfers Championship guys going over to Europe, and now Neil Collins making the move to England, got his UEFA license a little bit ago, and now going to take over Barnsley. It's a big deal. It's nice of them to let him coach the home game tonight as well as a little farewell.
And the Hounds now undefeated in 10 matches after the draw against Lewis City. They're playing some good ball. They went deep into the US Open Cup as well. And USL Championship action returns to ESPN2 with a good one between Monterey Bay and Oakland Roots.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. Lots of West Coast action on the Deuce. Late night drama.
Stay up for that on the 15th. It's 10 o'clock Eastern as far as the activity tonight.
Yeah, Detroit, they need a win there. Tough place to go get it, though, in New Mexico. El Paso, Monterey, Big West Conference matchup there. More action tomorrow as well, RGV and Orange County.
You get into the week and you see it's a short window for Detroit City. They play tonight and then also do work against Loudoun United. Again, all that action will be available on ESPN Plus. You can watch the matches also on demand if you cannot see it live. We'll be with you for the entire season, start to finish. And for Detroit City, they have had a lot of work in front of them, trying to dig themselves out of a bad hole. They have 16 points right now out east. Right now, it's 1-1 between Miami FC and Detroit. Or it's going to be not Detroit. Miami FC and Phoenix Rising. Detroit on the mind. Phoenix Rising, though, trying to get another W. Miami FC trying to snap an 8-game winless streak. See what happens here in the next 45. We'll be back.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This broadcast is brought to you by FPL. Learn how FPL is investing in Florida's future at FPL.com/value. Tata 2 and Macron. It was a roller coaster first half of action through 45 minutes. Ross, we had a lot of it. Back and forth we go.
Not sure how we're going to squeeze all this into a couple of minutes, Dave. Here's the goal. Mistake by Crutzen. Kyle Murphy with a composed finish into the top corner. And against the run of play, Miami FC with a 1-0 lead. It's been a while.
Yeah, Murphy's 5th goal of the season. Moises Hernandez, his first helper of the year. A mistake, Murphy capitalized on it. Miami FC off and running early. However, it was short-lived. There was some drama on the other end.
Yeah, Guiado almost made Zendejas pay. Really should have done a little better here. Had to try and chip it over Aiden Stanley and couldn't hook it inside the post. Zendejas, you can see, he wasn't sure if he'd be able to get there before. Guiado didn't, and yeah, should have done better there.
44th minute, though. Danny Trejo, who's been dangerous in the first half, finally redemption for him.
Lovely ball by Zambrano to unlock that Miami defense. And Trejo, as you mentioned, Dave, missed a golden chance earlier. Puts this one away inside the far post. And there was a little bit of shenanigans afterwards that resulted in 3 yellow cards. Here are your halftime stats.
Brought to you by Takes. What do the numbers tell you right now? Because the shots do not look pretty if you're a Miami FC fan.
They don't, but I think they've had an encouraging first 45 minutes considering how things have been going. They've had their chances, converted the one really good one. Perhaps should have put away at least 1 or 2 more. We're going to have a change at the break for Luis Neal's men. Because that man, USL League One champion last year, Gabriel Cabral, coming into the game in the center of midfield, replacing Dennis Dewuna.
First substitution of the night, brought to you by your superhero movers at Good Greek Moving and Storage. Cabral coming in and getting a look. He is replacing Dennis Dewuna. First change for either side tonight. But it was a physical first half of ball, not only for Miami FC, but for Phoenix Rising. There was players tumbling all over the map. But it was fun. It was a good 45 minutes. Just if you're a spectator watching this thing, I'm gonna imagine both head coaches want to make a few adjustments and be more defensively sound. But we'll find out. I guess the one question now, if you were Luis Neal, what kind of amendments would you make in your game here in the second half? Obviously the one change with Gabriel Cabral, but what else would you do?
I think as the half goes on, start pushing a few more bodies forward. Phoenix haven't looked particularly dangerous on the transition. Their goals have just been coming from pushing bodies forward. As Manjoma's down, Cabral can strike free kicks. We saw him strike one last week. Phoenix will certainly not want to give away any free kicks in the final third as Manjoma still remains down. Let's see if we can see what happened here. His own teammate may have caught him in the face. I'm not sure if it was at the ball or a foot, or that one hurt though.
Well, that's friendly fire. Let's see if that's a bloody nose. This is shades of Bolu Akinyoti a couple weeks ago. And if you're Juan Guerra, what kind of changes would you make here in the next 45?
Listen, 12 shots. We saw that stat at the half. I don't think he needs to do much. Just if his team had put some of those chances away, they could have been up easily 3-1 or so. Just encourage his team to continue finding that space in the channels. They didn't press a whole ton after the first 10 or 15 minutes, as you're right, Dave. I think it's another another nose problem. This time for the other team.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But these things happen, and obviously getting that strike from a teammate, never good.
A little bit of cotton up there to see if we can stop the bleed. Juan Guerra.
We asked him earlier this week what you feel like the one weakness is in your club. They haven't lost for a month. What the one weakness is of your team, and he just said it's the inability to score with the chances they have been given or they have taken, because they've had a bundle throughout the year. And if they can convert a quarter of those, he feels like they'll be in a different position.
We saw what they can do last week when they do find their clinicality. 12 shots, 10 of them on goal, 6 went in.
Unbelievable ratio. Stanley here on service with this corner kick. Had a couple players around. That strike from Cabral, a complete slice on it. Might look like someone's golf game.
Just an odd corner. For where it landed, there was very few bodies around it. See Manjoma with the... We'll see if he's able to continue. It's obviously not fun breathing through that while you're trying to sprint up and down the left wing.
Yeah, not like you're jogging for 5, 10, 15 minutes. You're going up and down the track in a highly competitive match. Manjoma taking a kick to the face. And oddly enough, that'll be Bolu Akinyoti in a couple of weeks, because Luis Neal said He's expected to wear a face mask or a shield when he does return to action. Gallardo, nobody around. Poor service there. Tight quarters, King tread closing on it. Nice job by Miami FC to get themselves out of harm's way. Chris passing their defensive third. Here's Salazar.
Going back to that Darnell King yellow card in the first half when Stanley stepped on the ball. Can you appeal yellow cards? I know you can appeal red cards, but I'm not sure if you can appeal yellow cards. Because Darnell King's one of those guys that plays on the edge.
Cabral might have gotten a piece of someone from Phoenix Rising. Salazar had his hand up on the opposite side, and that's going to be some contact and a foul against Hernandez. Now the question would be, what if it was a second yellow card?
I think that one you could appeal because it turned into a red. I'm not sure if you can appeal yellow cards because Darnell King certainly got a case. Hayden Stanley clearly stepped on the ball. Now King's got to be a little careful here the rest of the way. A couple of times he got involved in that bit of shenanigans at the end of the first half after the goal. Almost came in late just a couple of seconds ago.
Well, Miami scored early. Phoenix scored late. Murphy in the 15th minute, Trejo in the 44th. I say late, and all of a sudden we had 6+ minutes of stoppage time added on.
One thing I'd like to see Phoenix trying to do a little better is draw Miami out of position, switch that ball. They're sitting with those two banks of four super deep. Phoenix haven't found as much space as they did in those first 15 minutes of the game, just because of how deep Miami is sitting. Let's see them move the ball a little quicker side to side and get these Miami defenders out of position, draw them out a little bit as well.
On this portion of the broadcast, brought to you by your Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers. Salazar going down. 1-1 is the score. And one thing with Phoenix trying to convert against Miami and unlock their defense. Another thing for Miami FC, though, they've had some areas against Phoenix Rising where Phoenix Rising has overcommitted or potentially overplayed their hand and got their back line in some vulnerable spots, but Miami FC just unable to make that extra clean pass to set up a shot. Sorto. Great deal of footwork there. Back to Stanley. Here's some good communication. Sorto looking for Salazar. Rios Novo comes out. Open net. Curtis Thorne. He'll take the shot. Rios Novo there to block it on the way through.
Yeah, Rios Novo went wandering, and he ended up, I think, running into his own man when he tried to come out and claim this ball. That's no foul. Curtis Thorne just couldn't quite take advantage of it. Yeah, that was just a poor attempt at a claim by Rios Novo. And Thorne's first touch just let him down a little bit. Did himself a corner, though.
This corner kick brought to you by your Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. They're now into the 53rd minute. And the activity that was in the first half has carried over now here into the second half. No lackluster moments, at least for the time being. Stanley again. Rivas just couldn't get. They're asking for some contact. Rivas not going to get help there from the lead official.
Claiming his hand was up. I didn't see it on first look. Rivas was really the only one appealing.
Back-to-back corner kicks brought to you by Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Stanley on the opposite end. Cabral here on service. See what Gabriel provides. Line drive trajectory. Gallardo, who had it, gave it up, got it back, and Curtis Thorne with a foul.
That's a good foul from Thorne, though, coming over from his right back spot to help out on the other side. Caught upfield a little bit, his teammates.
Trejo scoring in the 44th minute. 7th goal of the season. It doesn't even lead the club. Arteaga has 10. Kind of gives you an idea of not necessarily how top-heavy Phoenix Rising is, but how they can attack you with a couple players like that. Miami FC's leading scorer Murphy has 5. Rivas, the touch. Segbers. Looked like there was a moment for a shot. Miami SC playing more deliberate here. Stanley. Phoenix Rising closing there, and Miami SC trying to recalibrate now.
The big question for Lewis Neal at this point is, when do you introduce Florian Velo? Nobody knows exactly how healthy he is. He's the kind of guy that could turn a game like this on its head.
And you can see the pressure and the pursuit by Phoenix Rising. Everyone in red and white trying to attack.
Yeah, Miami got off to a good start here in the second half.
They've done a much better job here the last couple minutes of possession. Segbers with some space. Christian Sordo shoots and he scores! Working weak side against Rios Novo. He made him pay cheat the opposite way. Miami FC back on the board. Second lead of the night brought to you by Wheels. It's 2-1 Miami.
Second time tonight, Mark Segbers has gone a marauding run into the box. This time he's rewarded. Sordo, he gave Rios Novos the eyes and then beat him near post. Keeper really should do better here, but it was a beautifully placed shot by Sordo. Segbers off to the races. He shaped up like he was going to try and curl it inside the far post. There goes Rios Novo. You'll see him just lean slightly to his left, and that's a beautiful finish by Sordo. The only place he was going to put that one away.
Oh boy, he did Rios Novo dirty there. Christian Sordo in the 55th minute gives Miami FC their second lead of the night. For Sordo, it's his 4th goal of the season. And Ross, there's buildups, and then there's just this giant avalanche, because it felt like Miami FC held possession for close to 90 seconds, maybe even a little bit longer than that. But the buildup came from the attacking third to midfield, back to their defensive end, and then all the way up and through. And you got to give a great deal of credit to Mark Segbers, because he went a long way to set that thing up.
He did. No, Miami certainly deserve to be in the lead after the first 10 minutes here in this first half. Second half, excuse me. They've looked much the brighter side. 72% possession since the break. Phoenix Rising with work to do now.
I mean, who would have thought? 55th minute. Christian Sordo, just a world-class play to beat Rios Novo short side. And that one pivot by the keeper to his left was death. And Sordo, his 4th goal of the season.
It was a great job by Sordo just to get enough power on that shot. Because obviously that's your closest point, but also the keeper's that side as well. And you think most goalies, they don't like getting beaten near post. That's sort of one of those myths, though, a little bit. But that was a well-deserved go-ahead goal for the home team.
I mean, you can go back and watch that highlight of the goal, but the buildup and the possession time for Miami FC. Watch out, Murphy on his horse. Rios Novo has to come out, and he does. I mean, Lewis Neal, after this match is over, he can look back at that play. That's clinical. You'd love to have that drawn up every single week. Of course, it doesn't go according to plan. But again, Phoenix Rising was attacking. They were trying to mark. They're obviously trying to depossess. And they overplayed, and they got beat. Stanley again in tight quarters.
Not sure what Armanakis is complaining about there. It's just a little frustration at the way this game has turned.
So Segbers with the assist, and for Mark, That's his first point of the season. Segbers and Hernandez each with their first assist of 2023. Murphy and Sorto. Murphy his 5th goal of the season, Sorto his 4th. And yes, they go 1 and 2 in scoring this year for Miami FC. So for the second time tonight, Miami FC has the advantage. And now the big question is, Ross, can they close? Because it's one thing to have a lead for 75 minutes and then finish out the final 15. They scored in the 15th minute. They didn't go wire to wire, obviously, but you score a goal now in the second half to break a deadlock. And now it's time to be nails.
Yeah, they can just keep attacking like they are right here, though. Don't sit back. At least not yet, anyway. For that 3rd goal.
Stanley, nice chip. Salazar! Oh, he just missed! Well, he wants that one back, and for good reason, but an excellent play to get that ball over to him. And Michael Salazar off the left foot, not his dominant foot, just misses the corner.
Yep, Sorto again in the mix of things, as he always tends to be. Just lost his balance a little bit at the last second. Salazar just slipped, I think, slightly with the plant foot.
Gallardo. He's been trouble. Zendejas climbing out of his net. They get contact near the 6. Zendejas did not play that cleanly. Tell you what, Armanakis almost got to that. Nice pick off, though, by Cabral.
Yeah, Adrian Zendejas got away with one there. You're backpedaling and trying to go a little faster sometimes. Lost his balance almost and could only get a weak hand on it.
Weak from Rivas. It got played back. Phoenix Rising on the intercept. Aiden Stanley had a wonderful delivery to Michael Salazar. Just could not cap it off.
Quick feet by the ref there to get out of the way of that pass.
We'll have a couple substitutions in a moment. We'll check the numbers and the team on it. 61st minute. Again, this is a Phoenix Rising club that have not lost in a month. Have to go back to the early portion of June when they felt defeat. But outside of that, for Juan Guerra, these guys have been in control. Even when playing behind, they're a confident group because of the firepower they have. And Miami FC, they're winless in their last 8. They want to snap the skid and wake up.
Wait a little bit on those substitutions. Miami FC band now in full voice.
Nice chip for Sorto. Stanley, who's played well tonight. He does have a yellow card against. Aiden, nice touch by Sorto for Stanley. Stanley, anybody around? Salazar, can he get to it? No. Quite ambitious on that approach for Miami FC. Stanley and Sorto working the near side. Gallardo, King to his right.
You see Juan Guerra imploring his team to move it a little faster. It's been a sluggish start to this second half for the visitors.
Now scored 29 goals on the year, but they've conceded 23. Heads up play there by Paco Craig. When Mayor, Darnell King on service. That cross, nobody around in his kit. Segbers, fortunate enough that found the foot of Joaquin Rivas. Joaquin to Murphy. Very rarely do you have Murphy in a touch at midfield. Let's see what kind of break we have here. Rivas, Segbers near the 6. Segbers, oh, he just missed that header. You could see it a mile away, and Ryan Telfer on the near sideline about to come in, but he thought it was going to be 3-1.
More success down this left side for Miami.
Substitution brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers. Telfer in, Sorto out. We'll go back to that sequence here in a moment. Sorto had a couple sweet flashes, though, of brilliance before exiting stage left.
First time we've seen Ryan Telfer in almost a month. Pretty much a straight swap there on the left side. Sorto's played well, but we saw last weekend he can be a little bit of a liability on the defensive end. But good game tonight for Christian. Obviously, he had the goal. Will it be the game winner?
This is a polar opposite second half from a week ago for Miami FC. They look like a drastically different team here. Of course, it helps when you're at home. Phoenix, not necessarily used to playing in the heat and humidity. Slight push off from Segbers, no whistle, no foul. Telfer.
That was a bit of retaliation.
Armanakis.
Not particularly subtle. Referee Sani asking him to use his head a little bit more.
See Rivas here and looking for Segbers. Oh, he just missed it. I know it was a flash.
Ton of pace on that cross. It would have taken a remarkable effort to get something on the end of it, but if they had, it could have gone anywhere.
So in that situation, depending on where things play out the rest of the year, that'd be close to one of the top 5 goals of the season for Miami FC if Segbers was able to make a connection on that pass from Rivas. It was a lot of steam. Segbers nearly breakdancing right there in front because he had 2 players for Phoenix Rising converging. This one played, looking for Telfer. Ryan coming in off the bench for Christian Sorto, making his 14th appearance of the season for Miami FC. Just under 900 minutes played in this campaign. He's had moments where he started for Anthony Pulis before he departed, and now coming in as a reserve for Lewis Neal. He has a goal and 1 assist. '67th minute. Darnell King. It's been quiet here in the second half. Nowhere near the performance like he had through the first 45. Armanakis.
Miami's worked super hard to get bodies behind the ball in situations like this. Organization has been good.
Thorne trying to shield off. Zendejas missed that ball by a good foot. Fortunate enough for Miami FC, they escape. Like Segbers is down inside the 18. Juan Guerra not happy. Looks like the train's gonna come out of the pitch right now in the 68th minute.
It's like Juan Guerra complaining a little bit about some gamesmanship from Miami. Players down, slowing down the pace of this game.
Pathfinder's only $199 a month during Weston Nissan's Drive for Less sales event. Drive the Pathfinder, only $199 a month, 33 in stock. Shop WestonNissan.com. Drive for less at Weston Nissan.
Mark Segbers still down right now, receiving some treatment. Segbers set up the go-ahead goal here in the second half for Christian Sorto, and Segbers appears to be okay. needing a lot of fluids. Being drained of a lot of fluids. It is hot and it is humid. Temperatures just under 90 degrees at kickoff. A humidity right around 70%.
Sigma's running a little gingerly. Seems to be okay though. Pretty good news for Lewis Neal. Won't have to make any unforced changes.
So he does return. Joma, just to Paco Craig. Watch out, though. A dangerous moment. Trejo shoots. Zendejas the denial there. That one against Harvey. Harvey hit that thing flush. Zendejas not cheating at all. Telfer in pursuit. Ryan does corral it. Nice job by Zendejas with a big stop against Harvey. It's twice now in this match. Harvey's had some pretty good looks. Dangerous spots to the pitch. Murphy trying to pivot around a little bit, but erring on the side of caution, touches it back to Thorne. Well, the last time Miami FC played patient on a possession like this, the end result was a goal. Let's see if it's a carbon footprint, no pun intended, of the previous result.
Heavy touch from Hernandez.
Salazar, spirited effort. Murphy with an open lead. Murphy, not that time. Rios Novo keeps this game alive.
What a moment for Miami. Murphy, you put money on him to finish that one off. Rios Novo stood tall though. Murphy just hit it right at him.
Murphy could have ended the night for Phoenix Rising with a goal there. Heartbreak for Miami FC. Second time in this half that they've had a wonderful build-up. This time, no payoff. And Murphy would love to have a reprieve there. Got to watch out. Gallardo taken out was Aiden Stanley, and Gallardo saying no way.
That was great work by Stanley. Cut off the run of Gallardo. Look at that chance. Great aerial duel win by Salazar. Murphy leaning to his left, trying to go to the right, but just didn't put it far enough to the side of Rios Novo. Comfortable save in the end.
He needed to come out and challenge, and Rios Novo did just that. He doesn't make that stop, Rios Novo. This game is over. But a long build-up, and you can see it just the outstretched moments of Phoenix Rising have left their keeper almost on an island.
So gonna have some changes coming here for the visitors.
So we'll see what changes will be made for Juan Guerra. Looks like Jose Hernandez is going to come in. It's one of a couple players that'll be entering the fray. Traore, I beg your pardon, Ross. Traore also coming in.
So we're gonna have a captain substitution as well. Hernandez, one of the guys, played for Guerra in Oakland.
Ooh, Rivas discouraged with that result.
73rd minute, Phoenix Rising with no shots of any kind in this second half. Only one touch in the opposition's box. Juan Guerra's seen enough. He's going to try and throw everything at it here for these final 18 minutes or so.
It feels like it's a combination of what Miami is doing and also potentially some fatigue.
It's a long trip, and listen, this Miami humidity, it'll zap you, even just standing around in it, let alone running around.
Murphy again. Murphy just missed getting into that ball. Rios Novo alertly well off his line. That's 2 moments in this match that he has come up large. Arteaga almost had a sniff at it. Armanakis. Manjoma with slight hesitation, and Gallardo working into a corner for Phoenix. '74th minute. Looks like we'll have a couple more changes for Miami FC. Armanakis. Strong approach, the header off the mark. Arteaga had a foot on it and it was broken up at the last second.
Paco Craig just got a foot in there, otherwise that was going to be 2-2. The ball fell nicely for the goal-scoring machine of late. Arteaga. Let's take another look at it here. Bounced off a couple of Miami players, and yeah, Paco Craig just got that foot in there.
Armanakis again. Paco Craig disrupting it. Salazar, Cabral. Rivas, who tried to feather that one through a hole, could not find it, but Cabral does have it now. Cabral taking a sweet time with that, and it's broken up by Hernandez. It appears we will have a couple substitutions. Substitutions brought to you by Good Greek Moving Storage, your superhero movers. Florian Below for the first time in forever, it feels like. Coming back into the affair, Joaquin Rivas will exit. And Claudio Repetto also coming in. Once a great spot. Sorry, Ross.
Yeah, Lewis Neal showing he's not going to sit back here for these final 15 minutes, bringing on fresh legs. Obviously, Below hasn't played in a while. Fresh legs and attacking legs. Love to have that third goal. Claudio Repetto, former Phoenix Rising man. Love to score against his former team.
Yeah, the last time Below saw the pitch was May the 13th. And that was against Lou City, making his 11th appearance of the year.
He's just the kind of veteran head you want to be bringing on in this situation to calm things down, run the show there at the 8 spot.
Gallardo trying to make a move against Stanley. No way that's going to happen here tonight. I don't know the first time that it's happened all year against Aiden Stanley. He's been that good on the defensive end for Miami.
He's very solid. Had a lot of work to do tonight down that side of the pitch, and he stepped up every time.
Armanakis again. A chance on the delivery there. That looked like a handball. This should be offside. Gallardo. Well, there are a couple players for Phoenix Rising that were behind the back line of Miami FC. The near set official did not have the flag up.
Yeah, Arteaga's, I think, complaining about the takedown on a couple of series ago. Well, Gallardo will come to the far side now.
Trejo, his goal in the 44th minute, the only one for Phoenix so far. Gallardo bending this one through. Paco Craig alertly on it. Salazar, a great effort here. He was, I don't want to say gently rubbed out of bounds, but no foul being called, and Salazar now letting the lead official hear it.
It was a good shoulder-to-shoulder challenge.
Saney, the lead official tonight, getting a tongue lashing from Salazar. Varela in. Substitution brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers. As Varela comes in, Gallardo is out. Guerra knows that points are at a premium at this time of the year, and he's trying to make sure that there's no derailment from his club. Phoenix Rising as Cabral gets taken down. See if this results in a bookie.
He wanted one and he's going to get it. Brano stopping the transition chance. Himself in the book.
We've had a lot of physicality in the first half. Nothing here in the second half.
Step from Cabral. Zambrano, and he was beaten.
Well, Phoenix Rising unbeaten in their last 5. The last time they got bested was June the 3rd by Pittsburgh, 1-0. But since then, 2 victories and 3 draws. Salazar down here.
And down a couple of times tonight.
Traore was the one that delivered some contact. I don't know where it occurred.
The size difference between Traore and Hernandez.
It's a little bit off. Next match for Miami FC, as the season continues here into July, will be July 12th on the road at FC Tulsa.
It's a big one. Tulsa only 3 points ahead coming into tonight. They're also winning 1-0 at Indy 11 right now.
FC Tulsa is the opponent that Florian Valot scored against this season. Valot scored the first goal of the year against FC Tulsa, a match that ended in a 1-1 draw. FC Tulsa was clearly outplayed in that contest against Miami FC, but Miami FC conceded a goal 90 seconds after Valot's marker, and that pretty much gave us an idea of how the season would play out after match number 1. 2 victories for Miami, 8 defeats and 7 draws. They're looking to snap an 8-game winless streak. And doing so would also put an end to a 5-match unbeaten streak for Phoenix.
Yeah, we saw what Phoenix can do in the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game, but it's been very different since then. They've looked very ordinary.
Thorne.
Certainly looked like a mid-table team, not one unbeaten in 5.
Zambrano here trying to clear some traffic. Armanakis. Panos. Armanakis. Hernandez played that to the wrong area. Trejo has it now. Traore's to his left. It'll give it up to him. Traore. Some English on that. Volleyed around a little bit. Telfer trying to hustle to it, but Phoenix maintained possession. 82nd minute here, looking for an equalizer late. Miami FC trying to slam the door shut, and they've had chances to put this game away. Murphy had a break. Rios Novo with a monster stop when it was 2-1. Again, Stanley, sharp as ever can be. Another fine play. And this results in a corner kick, and Phoenix trying to up the tempo. Got 3 players near the 6, and Dejas towering up. Always helps when you can climb the ladder at 6'5". Dejas has been busy tonight. You look at the totals, Phoenix has 15 shots in this contest, 6 of them on target, to 8 for Miami FC, and they have 5 shots on target.
Yes, and Dejas made that big save earlier in this half at his near post. It was the only real spectacular bit of work he's been called into tonight.
Yeah, that bid against Harvey was the only real flash from Phoenix Rising that was noteworthy here in the second half. Rios Novo almost misplayed that one. Possession right now is nearly a coin flip, but Miami FC has been the better team with handling the ball here in the second half. Segbers. Austin Saney was letting this thing play out for a moment and then delivers the bad news. With merit, Segbers into the book.
Segbers knew exactly what he was doing there. Another good foul though. It's a good yellow. Hernandez was on his horse. Does create a dangerous free kick though. Perhaps a little too deep to cause too much trouble. See if Miami can deal with it effectively.
Armanakis again trying to set somebody up. But Mayer, long ways, and Dejas calmly on it. Arteaga on the far side, causing some problems for Miami FC, but not enough to get the equalizer. It's been a 50-50 match.
Especially since that 15 to 20 minute mark when Phoenix were going full tilt early, didn't get anything from it. I have to think Juan Guerra knew his team couldn't press and play their usual high-octane system for this whole game just because of the conditions. They came out firing early, couldn't find the back of the net, and then found themselves down 1-0.
Yeah, they had an excellent flurry, but Miami FC held them at bay, got the lead. It was tied 1-1 at the end of the first half, and then Christian Sorto in the second half, his 4th goal of the season. That has been the difference maker here in the 86th minute. Played around, and Zendejas will alertly come out. Not waiting for anyone as Manjoma was looking for someone in red and white. Phoenix Rising get Colorado Springs next. FC Tulsa's on deck for Miami FC. Salazar down right now. Make sure you stay with us at the end of this match. Ross and myself will have the Tatatu man of the match. Some pretty good ideas of who it could be.
There's a couple of contenders. Salazar hasn't quite been involved as much as he was on last weekend. That will be the end of his night.
Yeah, Michael Salazar is, oh, he is a cramping up. Typically the hamstring when you're getting stretched like that. Salazar worked hard this evening. Michael had a great header that sprung Kyle Murphy loose, and Murphy got robbed by Rios Novo on a pretty much clean break and just could not find it. Salazar exiting. Benjamin Mines coming in. Substitution brought to you by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Mines will probably sit a little deeper, all things considered. Salazar, I would say second half he's been playing a little shallower, especially since they took the lead.
Claudio Repetto here. Repetto, nice pivot. Repetto takes his shot. Rios Novo alertly not cheating the opposite way.
Yeah, not getting beaten at his near post this time. Repetto was clearly trying to go far post. It's a poor giveaway.
Mines here, his first touch. Below, Repetto. Miami FC trying to put a nail in the coffin right now. Phoenix Rising came in as a decent-sized favorite in this contest. Miami FC not only trying to pull off the upset, but trying to pick up some steam in the month of July, and it's a dangerous threat there. But Mayor, the guilty party, and let's see if that will result in a booking at all. As Cabral is down and not getting up.
It was a heavy challenge from Fuenmayor. We're all feeling it.
Haven't seen it too often, but Miami FC now playing in another match, which you'll get 8 minutes of stoppage time. I believe the last time that happened was against RGV back on June the 10th, a match that ended in a 3-3 draw. That one, RGV found themselves down 1-0 in Miami, took a 2-1 halftime lead. Miami FC came out in the second half and played like they were double parked, scored twice to take the lead, and then RGV in stoppage time got an equalizer. That was 8 minutes of stoppage time there. And as rumor would have it, we'll have 8 minutes of stoppage time to close this thing out. 8 minutes.
Wow.
Don't know why.
Plays Juan Guerra, but not anybody else, I don't think, out there. I'm sure the Rising players appreciate it, but a lot of them running on the fumes right now.
Not sure how you can justify 8 minutes of stoppage time.
No. Maybe half of that.
Craig to Mines. Watch out. Benjamin Mines. Troiori got beat. Repetto looking for it. He was pushed a little bit when Mayor heads up veteran move there as Repetto over pursued that ball.
He did call the first half 90 seconds or so early, so maybe they're adding some of that on. I don't know. I'm scraping here, Mark, Dave. I don't know where else I can find that 8 minutes from.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point, Ross. Make sure you stay with us at the end of this contest. We'll have full-time stats, highlights, and also our Tata 2 man of the match. Arteaga trying to break the hearts of Miami again. This is going to result in a corner kick. That's not a great attempt at breaking up that play for Segbers. See what Varela does here. Varela didn't start this match, but did come in late in the second half for Juan Guerra. Trying to make an impact now. And now Phoenix trying to set the table, and Austin Saint chirping a little bit at Moises Hernandez. Hernandez trying to get underneath the jersey of Arteaga. Varela, there's Zendejas.
Yep, not a great delivery there on the corner, far too close to Zendejas. See some of the frustration from the Phoenix Rising players of that delivery. Saying he's onside. It was two Rising players back.
Yeah, Velo on the opposite wing. Telfer, Repetto shoots. That one goes calmly and slowly rolling in to Rios Novo.
Velo's incensed. He wanted the ball, didn't get it. Repetto should have done better. He'd love to have scored against his former team. Put this one away, but still going.
Yeah, Miami FC has had numerous chances to put Phoenix back on a plane back to Arizona with a loss, and they have just failed to do so. I mean, even with that moment where Telfer touched it, he could have realistically taken a shot because Rios Novo was well out of his net. We've seen that happen for many of occasions and several players throughout USL Championship. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Repetto. Cabral back to Stanley, and now Zendejas. Shots right now in this contest favoring Phoenix 17-10. Shots on goal are even though it's 7 apiece. The one difference in this affair is the volume. Miami FC has 7 shots that are on target, 7 of them all inside the 18. Phoenix, 14 of their 17 inside the box.
So much for 8 minutes, Dave.
Who's counting, right?
Paco Craig down.
That's Moises Hernandez. He is not reclining. If you're enjoying this one here tonight, make sure you don't miss any of the action this season. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+. The home to the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and much more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Moises Hernandez getting his first assist of the year on the goal from, or the goal scored by Kyle Murphy.
Guerra saying 2 minutes more, 2 minutes more.
If there's anyone that's going to work an official, that would be Juan Guerra. Don't know if he'll be rewarded with the verbiage below. That one snaked away. Repetto. Florian came in right around the 75th, 76th minute, give or take. See what kind of cardio he has tonight. He has not played since May.
Yeah, I assume we'll see him again in Tulsa next weekend. We'll see him from the go. Not sure, you mentioned you got to build up that cardio a little bit, that game 90-minute fitness. Lewis Neal would love to have him in that starting lineup, that's for sure.
Mayor had it, got it back. When Mayor takes a shot, Paco Craig, he's kind of upset. Needless to say, I think everyone from Miami FC was thinking that man right there, number 30, was offside by a country mile. Let's take a look at it again.
Certainly looked like he was at least a yard behind Craig. I don't think there was anybody on this near side keeping him on.
I don't know how that could be missed.
I even put my hand up, Dave.
There you go. You're missing the flag, though. Eight minutes of stoppage time. Varela.
Another poor delivery.
Shocking as it is. It's fresh legs.
Fresh legs in stoppage time, down 1 goal. Got to be better than that. Going to get a chance to redeem himself here, maybe.
Trejo asking for service on the opposite end. Ooh, nice play by Aiden Stanley. Sharp as he's ever been. Big play on the defensive end. Another header off the mark. Ooh, Moises Hernandez. Unfortunate, but lucky enough for him. That one skipped right past the post.
Hernandez, he needs to buy a lottery ticket tonight. He's got lucky a few times, including one challenge where he should perhaps have been sent off. Another one there just went by. This Varela again with a chance to deliver. And once again, that's disappointing.
That is just ugly from Varela. No way to call it anything but that.
You say in the NBA, if you're a shooter, you keep missing, keep shooting. Varela's going to try it again here.
Ooh, this one again. And plenty of contact. Curtis Thorne got taken out when Mayer was draped all over him.
Great positioning from Thorne.
And I use a boxing analogy as you just brought it up. It's good to box out move, the basketball terms. Zambrano just trying to go as slow as humanly possible. Austin Saney, they're looking for him to blow that final whistle. Geppetto trying to make a move. Kretsen with the intercept. Austin Saney still not looking at his watch. Here's Trejo attacking everyone in the sea of reds. The Dejas. Oh, he misjudged that ball, looking to come back to bite him.
Well, when I looked up to see where Dejas was, he was a little too close to that front post. I thought perhaps there was going to be a chance.
And finally, Austin Saney blows the whistle, indicating full time. I didn't know if he was going to give us 8 minutes of stoppage time or 80 minutes of stoppage time. But speaking of 8, an unbeaten streak comes to a close, and the winless streak of 8 matches ends at 8. Miami FC picking up 3 critical points here tonight, and they defeat Phoenix Rising by a final score of 2-1.
Congrats to that man right there, Louis Neal, in his first professional head coaching victory. Well deserved. Snuffing out the fire of this Phoenix Rising team.
So we got to take a look now at our Tata 2 man of the match. See who we got, and the man of the match, no one other than Christian Sorto, the game-winning goal.
I think when it's been so long since you've had a win, you've got to give it to the man that scored the winning goal. Segbers lays it off for Sorto and smartly goes near post, beating Rios Novo. Nathan Stanley with a superb effort at left back, but with this victory, you got to give it to that man.
Christian Sorto, his 4th goal of the season, the 55th minute. Mark Segbers with the assist, and that is our Tata 2 man of the match. Gabriel Cabral pumped up for his interim head coach, Louis Neal, and the rest of the squad as Miami FC picks up their 3rd win of the season, and they take care of Phoenix Rising here tonight by a final score of 2-1. We'll have some post-game thoughts, some highlights, and also some stats, but Miami FC ends their winless streak of 8 matches in a row. They get a big W here tonight, pull it off in an upset fashion. 2-1 was the final.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American dream.
I am the future.
I am.
I am
Miami
FC.
FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Match is over with Miami FC pulling off the upset 2-1 over Phoenix Rising. Full-time highlights. Ross, take it away.
Mistake here at the back, but it was the pressure from Kyle Murphy that perhaps led to it. And a superb finish by the veteran. Giving Miami the early lead in this one after just a quarter of an hour.
Yeah, for Murphy scoring in the 15th minute. Murphy's goal, assist from Moises Hernandez, and for Murphy, his team-leading 5th goal of the season. And now 13 matches. 44th minute, though, Phoenix Rising got themselves level.
A delightful ball through here. Trejo shrugs off the challenge and calmly beats Zendejas inside the far post. And perhaps we thought this was what would get Phoenix Rising going in the second half. They were so impressive in those first 15 minutes, but Miami had the answer with that first goal. And there was a bit of drama right afterwards as Hernandez came in and was lucky somehow to escape a card as he clattered into Arteaga.
55th minute, we got a sniper alert here from Christian Sordo.
Run by Segbers created it though, made this Phoenix Rising defense pinch in, not allowed Sordo the space, and a quality finish inside Rios Novo's front post.
Yeah, that's beautiful there, but an excellent build-up. Segbers with a wonderful assist, and Sordo capped that thing off. 4th goal of the season, the game-winning goal in the 55th minute. Miami FC held on to win. Despite the fact they had played 16 total minutes of stoppage time, they win it 2-1 was the final score. And your full-time stats, Ross.
Yeah, the second half stats are the ones I want to focus on.
Yeah.
Phoenix down a goal for 35 minutes, but only managed 2 shots on target. Just not what we'd expected from this team after these last few games. A disappointing road trip for Rising, but an encouraging 3 points for Miami FC.
And
Great
good
stuff
for them to take care of business at home. They improved their record to 3-8-7 at home. They're now 3-3-4. They have 16 points. Phoenix Rising falls to 6-5-7. They're stuck on 25 as well. Miami FC on the road next week. They'll take on FC Tulsa. We'll say goodbye here from FIU Stadium. From Ross Davenport and the entire crew here, this is David Gascon saying so long on a Saturday night. Christian Sordo with the game-winning goal, the difference maker. Miami FC in upset fashion wins it. 2-1 is the final.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.